fellow Force users, what is up? It's AhsokaTanoFan and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's kind of nice outside today. Maybe I can go outside to film instead.
Oh, God. Fuck! Forgot about those suckers.
Yeah, on second thought, we're gonna do this one inside. And while you guys are here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button. I will subscribe back and also leave a comment for me as well. I love responding to the comments. Let's get into today's video, guys. To my notes, as always. By now, you probably heard the news. Yesterday, it was announced that a brand new Star Wars animated spin-off of the Clone Wars series is coming next year to Disney+, and it is called The Bad Batch, which is pretty exciting. I literally remember hearing it on the news that there was a Star Wars animated series. I came like running to the family room, like what? I'm pretty sure this is the rumored animated series in the works that we were speculating about for so long. I'm not gonna lie, I did initially assume that it was going to be following Ahsoka and Rex's journey. So at first I was like, oh, damn. That was kind of the one I was hoping for. But then when I heard The Bad Batch, I thought, oh, this is pretty interesting too. There's a lot of things that they could explore as well with The Bad Batch. It's super exciting. According to StarWars.com, they were saying that the series is going to follow the events of what The Bad Batch went through after the Clone War, and then we'll see them kind of take on their own mercenary missions, which is pretty cool. We know from watching the Clone Wars, where the Bad Batch made their debut, that they are an elite unit of clones that differ genetically compared to their brothers or compared to the Regs. So they kind of give off like Expendables vibes, which I actually go more into in my full in-depth review of the Bad Batch arc, which I am still working on to this day. And so I wish this announcement could have come later, like next week, so I could finish that first. They each possess a specific skill that they're really good at. We have Hunter, who's kind of like the captain, the leader of the Bad Batch. You have Tech, who's a really smart one, who kind of gets them in and out of situations, sort of like R2-D2 always did with Anakin and Ahsoka. You have Gregor, who's kind of like the Hulk of the group, super strong. And then you have Crosshair, who has special eyesight abilities, and he's really good at shooting. He's got great hand-eye coordination, and so he is like their sniper. And now we have Echo, because he joined them at the end of the Bad Batch arc. He's almost similar to Tech in a way, and he kind of acts as a nice bridge between the elite Bad Batch and then the regular clones. Now we're actually going to get to see how he does with them and how much he fits in, and whether or not he maybe regrets leaving the regular clones. Kind of like whether or not Ahsoka regretted leaving the Order. So we might have the opportunity to see how Echo deals with that. Now, one of the things I was speculating, along with other people, was whether or not the Bad Batch actually carried out Order 66. We may finally actually get to see what happens here and how it unfolds, because this series is going to take place after the Clone Wars. It's kind of a tough one. I'm not really sure, because on one hand, I feel like they might have carried it out, or they might have at least received the transmission because they have the same chip, given that they're clones. But on the other hand, I wonder if because of the fact they're genetically different than the other clones, if that difference somehow plays a role in how they receive the transmission and how their chip interacts with the rest of their brain. Maybe they didn't carry out Order 66, but nonetheless, it should be very interesting to see how they show us that. And I'm wondering if we're gonna see Rex make an appearance at all. I wonder if they know what happened with him. Do they think that he carried out Order 66 along with the rest of the clones? Or do they think that maybe he's perhaps dead? Because we do know that somewhere along the way after the Clone Wars and before Rebels, Rex does end up meeting up with Wolffe and Gregor, because we see the three of them in Rebels. And so I'm just interested in seeing whether or not he crosses paths with the Bad Batch again before meeting up with Wolffe and Gregor. Or maybe Rex meets up with the Bad Batch when he separates from Ahsoka, and then they help him find Wolffe and Gregor. That could be something that maybe will be shown as well. Speaking of Rebels, I do wonder if they're going to, again, have the series coincide with the Rebels timeline at all, because again, we do see Rex and Wolffe and Gregor in Rebels. So it should be interesting how, if they do that, how they're going to bring it all together. When Order 66 was declared, the clones are working under the Empire at that moment. But over time, we know that eventually the Empire stops producing clones and instead ends up having stormtroopers. which to this day I personally still don't understand, because we all know that stormtroopers can't shoot for shit and the clones are far superior. Yeah, but anyway, we're always reminded and shown that the Empire hunted down the Jedi and tried to find any remaining survivors, but we don't often talk about how they might have wanted to do the same with the clones because they were only interested in having the stormtroopers at that point. So I wonder if with this new Bad Batch series, since it is focused on an elite group of clones, if we're going to be able to see that perspective, to see how the Empire treats the remaining clones and how they slowly phase them out, because that's not as widely talked about. And I wonder how the Bad Batch will react to that. I also wonder how many seasons it's going to be. We know that Rebels had 4 seasons, the Clone Wars had 7 seasons. Initially, I think they were supposed to have 8 seasons. It might be tricky because they are just focusing on one group of individuals, so I wonder how long they'll be able to stretch that out for, but yeah, it should be interesting to see. I'm also kind of holding out a little hope that we'll get to see Ahsoka and Rex's journey after the Clone Wars and prior to Rebels, because there's still so much that is untold that happened during that time period that I would love to see unfold on the TV screen. I don't know, maybe down the road they'll consider making a series about that or somehow feature that in the Bad Batch, I'm not sure. I know there is a rumored Rebels sequel series that is supposedly in the works as well, and that's supposed to follow Ahsoka and Sabine in their search for Ezra. I expect that we'll have an announcement about that sometime in the near future. But yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. Next video will be the Bad Batch in-depth arc review. I hope to have that up soon. I'm in the process of editing it, so I'm going to finish up that and get that out soon. More videos to come. Let me know what you guys think about this new series announcement. Let me know down below in the comments. As always, I will respond to the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. I will subscribe back. And until next time, guys, take care. See you in the next video.